Welcome back to Day to Day with Daydream, ladies and gentlemen. On my left, I have Ariel, and on my right, I have my guy Mbuge.
Let's get into it.
Let's get into it. Y'all ready?
Sure.
For sure.
Okay, Ariel, I'm gonna put you in the hot seat real fast. I got a question for you that's gonna kickstart this podcast off. I want you to be honest with me, okay?
Oh, all right.
All right, let's do it. Have you ever been afraid of a cycle repeating itself or entrapped in your mind about your past experiences or relationships that has kept you from moving forward with new people in your life seeking a relationship?
Yes.
You have?
Of course. I mean, when you've been through a traumatic situation, you put up walls to protect yourself just because you don't want to go through that same situation again. So that's a given. But it just takes a certain kind of person, or for lack of better words, your person, to come into your life and help you realize there's certain things that you don't have to be scared about no more. Because I can give you that reassurance that you were lacking in your last relationship to help you be the better woman that I know that you can be.
Ooh,
So yeah.
that's good. You see, I talked about that in my last podcast about the right person coming into your life, pulling that out of you.
Yeah.
And some people think that's a red flag and they shouldn't have to go through these experiences, and you're supposed to like mesh together and be this perfect relationship. But I think in order to be a perfect relationship, you have to deal with those past traumas. And I think the right person can pull that out of you.
Yeah. To be in a relationship in general, you have to accept that person for their flaws. So you have to accept them for their baggage before you can just be like, oh, yeah, this is my person now. Nah, you got to take me for my dirt. You got to take me for my grime. You got to take me for everything it is that I am.
Yeah.
Before I can be like, all right, yeah, we together now real bad. You know?
Okay. So I asked a question in my last podcast, and I want to ask you,
Oh.
okay, because I think this would be a great answer coming from your point of view.
Okay.
How long would you wait until you would want that man to pop that question and ask you to be his girlfriend? What?
Jehovah. How long would I want him to wait? I mean,
Like how long would you wait, and before you're like, you know what, you're not asking me to be you're not popping that question and asking me to be a girlfriend yet, and I'm not gonna wait around for you. So like, how long would that take for you? Would you give it 2 months, a month, a few weeks for that person to pop that question and make it official?
anything, quality over quantity. That is such a hard question.
Yeah.
Such a hard question. But I'm going to keep it $150 with you. I can't answer that question for you because I've only ever been in one serious relationship. And in that experience, I felt like I moved too soon.
Okay.
So now, I mean, once you feel like comfortable with that person, I guess if I had to put a time step on it, I'm going to say 3 months.
3 months.
Yeah. In the words of Steve Harvey, a 90-day rule.
3 months.
I'm being funny.
I was
Just
about
a
to
joke. That was
say.
just a joke. That was just a joke, I swear.
I was about to say.
I was.
Look, I know.
Why your
I was
eyes
about to
get
say
big when
no,
I say 90 days?
because I think one of the biggest things that people refer to or talk about is that when we're talking about the 90-day rule, right? I feel as if, from a guy's perspective, it's one of those things that if you know, you know.
Oh,
And so I don't have to say, oh, it's going to take 90 days. If I said that, yo, in 60 days, she's shown me more than I've ever seen in 90 days, you know?
yeah.
But I could have seen in 6 months. So I think it just depends.
It depends on the person. You're not wrong. I was literally just joking.
No.
about the 90 days,
I'm not gonna be like, oh, this like
It's
I'm
just
not.
insane.
No.
No.
It's not that. It's not that big of a deal. Not like that. But I do think it depends on when people talk about the 90-day rule. It's like, so you're gonna allow Steve Harvey to then determine how you move forward within a relationship. I feel as if people need to practice a lot of their own discernment.
Yes. People need to
Right.
practice and make their partner aware of their boundaries. Like,
True.
some people like, oh, I'm a first of the night kind of girl, or because I mean, put it to you like this: what you can show me in a week, regardless if I hold out, you gonna still burn. You still gonna do bad by me anyway. It don't matter the time frame. Like I can give it to you right now, or I can give it to you in 90 days. You still gonna be ain't, you know.
Yeah.
So it really don't matter. But I mean, it just depends on the boundaries that you set with your partner. Like there's just some things that just won't happen at all up until I feel comfortable.
Right,
That's
100%.
just
100%. I think that takes precedence, of course. If someone says these are my boundaries or these are my deal breakers, then it is what it is.
Yeah.
It's either you respect it or you don't.
Okay, I mean, for my situation, like, well, I'm just speaking for myself, not necessarily my situation, but I feel like
let's
after
talk about your situation.
Let's
all right, we can do that. But I just want to start off, and I want to say first, like, if I dealt with a lot, especially growing up, and high school played a really big.
Oh heaven!
It did, like, it impacted me.
Did he forget to mention that I've known him since high school?
So I guess that's good context.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
yeah. Oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
This man.
But okay. And be honest though, like in high school, I was closed off. I was really closed off in high school, and I don't know. I wouldn't even go to lunch. I wouldn't socialize with everybody else.
Fun fact: he played me in high school.
I did not play you in high school. I couldn't.
It's okay. I'm an adult. I can own up to that. I'm an adult.
No. So I mean, high school, I could not.
Exactly.
I couldn't. I was way too insecure. And I'm still insecure to this day. But it's not as bad as I had it in high school. But I wouldn't even go to lunch. I wouldn't socialize. I wouldn't look people in their eyes. Like I had it pretty bad with that insecurity. And I guess it had a lot to do with society at that time for me in high school.
Based off of the people that you kept around you, or
based off the people I kept around me, yeah.
100%.
And I was afraid to move at the time because I always cared about what other people thought, and I wasn't living my life for myself, right? Ooh. And you had toxic masculinity in high school, especially in the groups that I was running with, and anything you did, you definitely get made fun of about it and call names, which is still to this point, like kids still deal with that to this day. And I didn't get out of that until I got out of high school, around like 18, 19, and I was still insecure in myself, and everything that I've been dealing with in high school carried on into my adulthood. So when people tell me like, hey man, like you should talk to her, I would always tell myself like, I'm not good enough, or I don't look good enough. And I still had those problems that follow me into adulthood, up into my situation, which is why I asked this question earlier. It took a while. Mm-hmm. It took a while, especially when I'm talking to somebody. It'll take a while for me to actually be able to be open. Mm-hmm. Be open. So that process is long for me when it comes to like asking a girl to be my girlfriend. That process is long because I'm dealing with everything internally. I internalize everything, which makes that process a lot longer.
But then I'd also ask them, why are you internalizing everything, or at least even some things?
Overanalyzing,
overthinking. So,
And is it justified? I think.
Okay, so
that's a good question.
Is it justified? I mean, I'm asking this question more so thinking out loud because I had to actually look to become an overthinker, because I do keep to myself a lot, and I write a lot. Right. So how I process a lot of my problems is that I articulate it within notebooks, because then as I'm writing, nobody tells me, oh, like it stops or it ends, right? But now I do believe that to what degree though, because especially when you're dealing with other people, because if we're talking about people's emotions or how people, or even how other people look to handle their problems or their issues, I think that plays a very big factor in how you choose to then move forward with them.
Yeah, because it then becomes out of your control. Like, you can't assume or think, oh, this is exactly what's going to happen. Like, yes, you can live in your own world and write out your problems so you can come up with your own personal solutions, but you have to also give that person enough room to help you if it's a problem between two, or at least express their side or their perspective of a situation.
You so okay about that, about allowing help. That's something I didn't really do.
No, tell me about it.
Like, that's something I didn't allow people to help me do, and I think I still struggle with that today, because I felt like I could not. If I couldn't solve the problem, how could you? And that's how I thought about it, and that's a very toxic way to go about it. And I wouldn't allow that help, so I would internalize everything, which a lot of men do to this day, because I guess they just carry that burden of trying to not asking for help. Because I think that, and I'm only gonna speak for myself when I say this, but I'm seen as weak if I ask for help. like I guess I just carried that on my back for some reason. I guess it's how I was taught to deal with my problems. I would always find myself like, okay, if I ask for help, then I can't. I feel like I was just weak. Like I should be able to figure it out on my own. Was my mindset, you know? And growing up, I realized that it's okay to ask for help. It's okay to ask for help, and it's a very toxic way that I went about it at the same time. And you know, when I wouldn't allow people to be there for me. And I guess that got into the way of, it carried into adulthood, because when the person did come into my life and wanted to be there for me, I didn't know how to give her that. Because of how much I internalized and telling myself for years that I need to figure it out.
I think it also depends, though, on the problems or the issues. Because I will say I do believe there's certain things that I do need to figure out on my own.
Right.
It's not to say that I can't tell you about it, though. But I believe that there's certain problems where if I do not face it, or if I do not look to control this demon, or if I don't look to face this obstacle head on, who else will do it for me? I would say that I've had to learn how to ask for help, but to what degree? Because a lot of my goals or the things that I desire in life is going to be predicated on how much work I put in. Right. So I can ask for help all day, but if I'm not putting in that work, it doesn't, in my opinion, that help is only going to go so far. Now, if you're talking about in the sense of relationships, it depends.
It depends, yeah.
Because from the jump or from the beginning, was that person that I chose to be with, were they helping me from the beginning, or are those things that we talked about or discussed that, hey, you say you do want to know what my day-to-day looks like, or you don't? You know, so I guess as we look to get older and as we continue to grow, I feel like it just depends on how that person looks to come into my life and what they actually bring into my life. Because the same way people say don't tell everyone your problems or don't tell everyone the things you're going through, I believe the same can be said for your partner. Because the more that they know about you, and if they have not shown that maybe they are deserving of that, then you got to go. You got to go. Because now if I'm choosing to then be vulnerable with you, and then what happens when you take my vulnerability for granted and you use it against me, or you see what so it's a caveat. I don't think that it's, I can ask for help, that's one thing, especially you're my partner, but now have you earned that for me to even vent with you?
Okay, so vulnerability, that's a very good point. You know, like, man, that's deep, because you tell everybody, you tell a person everything that can hurt you, and then they do it anyway.
Then they do it, and that's even worse.
Man,
that's like you manipulating someone on purpose.
Yeah, that's one thing that I did. That's one thing that was in my mind consistently. Like, are you trying to tear my walls down just so that you can hurt me? And I'm thinking that in my head as I'm overanalyzing everything.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah, so like,
who hurt y'all?
Well, wait, what does that have to do with somebody?
I'm just saying, it's like
these are real life
experiences. Yes, 100%. We don't have to talk about it.
No. But
I'm just saying, like, at the end of the day, love is beautiful. Like, it doesn't have to be such a negative connotation. At the end of the day, you're gonna get hurt,
right?
Because a package can be delivered to your doorstep because you thinking it's your tracking number that God sent to you. But it's not. It was a lesson. You have to learn to grow. So thinking that all of this negative thing, like all these negative things about love, and, you know, they're put in place for you to learn. They're put in place for you to grow. They're put in place for you to build yourself up so you can prepare yourself for the package that's supposed to be sent to you.
For sure. But I believe that also, though, if we're talking about vulnerability and love, I believe those are not, I don't think, right? I mean, because if I'm dealing with most of my problems, I need to solve them, in my opinion, in a logical fashion.
Okay.
I don't think that in my emotions, the way I look at it, any negativity that I have within my life, I'm using that as fuel to then solve my problems. Okay. Right? That's how I channel it. Like anything that I've gone through, any suffering that I use, it's all pain that I'm using to then go to the next level. So when we're talking about,
I'm listening.
No. We're talking about, okay, how to, like, me being mindful about the partner that I choose. I believe that either do they actually want to see me win, right? Or are they just looking to choose wisely because they know that, oh, this partner here is going to go to whatever level that is, and I've picked the right one. So are you really in the fight with me, or are you just saying you're here to just be here every once in a while when you're benefiting, and then the other half of it is like, it is what it is. I know you're gonna get through it. I know you're gonna get through it. Especially like when you're picking your partner, right? Because I can be vulnerability is one thing, but now you saying love, that's totally different.
You know what?
We're talking about too. You know what I'm saying? No, you good?
Don't turn over here and look at me.
Could you could you be with a man who provided everything, and he checked off all the list and on all the list,
checked off all my boxes.
Checked off all your boxes. Mm-hmm. Could you be with a man if he wasn't vulnerable, but he checked off all the?
No, you ain't even got to finish the question now. Because regardless of a man being able to provide for me, as your woman, I would want you to confide in me. If I can't be a place of sanctuary for you, then what am I doing for you?
Okay.
What am I doing? Cooking, cleaning? Anybody can do that.
True.
But if I'm not a part of your safe haven, then I have no point. I have no purpose. Because the person that I am a caring, genuine, loving soul. I need to at least be able to fix some part of your life or your problem or take a burden off of your shoulders so I feel like I am worthy of you. That's just me. I can't be with nobody that don't want to be vulnerable with me because I'm a Cancer. I'm a crybaby. I'm going to tell you my problem. I'm going to tell you, baby, they made me mad at work today. I need a hug, maybe a little back rub, some ice cream, and I'll be straight. But, nah, if you can't come home and be like, baby, they stressing me out at work. I don't know how we going to get through it. Then
you don't feel as if, so you, like, based off of your experiences or things that you've seen, you don't feel as if that makes a man a little bit less masculine?
No, it does not.
So he's coming home and confiding in you.
Come home, tell me your issues.
And then what?
Take your shoes off.
And then what? No, hear me out.
I'm going to thug it out. We're going to be in these trenches together and we're going to thug it out. As a man, yes, y'all want to be the providers. Y'all want to take care of all of the problems.
Providers need to be the providers.
No, you do not have to be.
So who? Okay, that's
This
fair.
can be a 50-50 thing.
It can be based off. Okay.
I can speak for myself because there's some women in this world that want men to take care of everything. You go right ahead because there's a man for every woman. There's things that I want out of my man that another woman don't want out of her man.
And I feel as if that's based off of going back to maybe boundaries or gender roles or whatever you guys decide within your own relationship. Because at the end of the day, it's all about context. I just feel as if that what you said or mentioned that you want the man to come and confide into you.
Yeah.
Right? But it's also like what then needed to be done to then show that, okay, I need to be vulnerable with her. And the only reason I'm asking that is because, like, say a woman says, hey, I want him to confide in me, right? She says that. Her actions do not align with that. It's one thing to say, this is what I want. Oh, but on the back end, I'm just saying, why does he keep coming and crying to me about his problems? He's going to fix it or he's going to solve it. Because ideally, that's what's going to have to happen regardless. Right? Because if you say that, okay, because how does that then look like you guys both had a very stressful day.
Yes.
Give or take, right?
Yes.
You guys both come home. Now you're venting to each other. Hear me out. Like
I'm listening.
You guys are venting to each other, right?
Okay.
What happens the next day? Like, how does that, like, what does that night look like?
What does the night look like?
Like, what does the night look like?
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Look.
I can tell you what the night gonna look like.
All right.
For me personally, I had a rough day at work. I'm stressed out. I'm tired. I don't have the motivation to do nothing.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
My man come home. He tired.
Okay.
He has no motivation to do nothing. That's when you have now communicated what it is for you to feel better, a self-care in a sense.
Right.
I can't do nothing for you unless you tell me what it is that you need to be done. Okay. So if you telling me not today, I don't have the energy, I have to respect that. That's fine. You can take your time. You can do what it is that you want to do. And when you're ready to come back and talk to me about it, okay, I'm going to listen. You have to be able to dissociate and put your feelings on the back burner for the person that you care about. It's a tit for tat kind of thing. And so it's just like, it don't matter. You coming home telling me your issues. If there's something that I can physically fix for you, then I'm going to do it. If you telling me that you tired, if I know what's going to make you happy, I'm going to do it. I don't care that I'm tired no more. I'll get in that kitchen and bust out some steak, mashed potatoes, cornbread, collard greens. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. You asking the actions, that just means I have to listen to the needs that you have, the wants that you want, so I can put forth that effort so you can see, oh, she really riding with me. She rocking with me. I can be vulnerable. So
where are these? I was about to say, where are these women at?
I don't know.
I'm going to be honest with you. Look,
I don't know where they at.
Honestly, I've learned And what you said, you know, I went through my situation and I've learned that same thing. And it was hard to me to decipher, is she here to get this out of me and play me, or is she really want to get this out of me and be there for me?
You can only take a person for their actions, not their words.
Correct.
'Cause I can lie to you all day.
But that's the thing, though. So it's like, all right, so you could say you're having a happy and prosperous relationship or joyful, or you're you know, going through all the pros and cons. What does that look like, say, a few years from now, that you may put the title on and say you're married? Everything's going gravy. Let's say, okay, now, but there's no maybe prenup in place. Like, people feel a little sketchy about the prenup always, but now after that, what then happens? Say she's like, you know what, this was great, divorce. What happens to everything that's now been built?
Do people just stop communicating once they get married? Like, what's going on?
I agree. Because I agree, though. I agree, because I do think when it comes to marriage, like, we should be looking at, not even marriage, just in certain relationships, right? That once you say that this person is mine, or I'm with this person for the long haul, we need to do everything in our power to stay together, regardless of the trials and tribulations. However, the society that what I'm seeing, or what anybody's seeing statistically, is it showing that we're saying that we need to be in this together. We need to push through these trials and tribulations. We need to go to the next level, because we're in this for the long haul. We're in this for the forever game, not just for this time period or this season. So that's why it's like, it all sounds good, and I love it, right? What then happens?
Take this generation and flush it down the toilet.
But that's not the reality, though, right?
That is very much so the reality.
No.
But a hot girl summer outside.
That's a problem, though. See,
it is.
That's a problem.
It is a problem.
I'm only saying that's a problem maybe because it's like, all right, so there's this book called The Defining Decade, right?
Okay.
That book is outstanding.
Okay.
What it says is
Adds
that
to book read.
Oh, I'm serious. That book is amazing. But one of the things that I learned from that book is that, okay, the reason why you need to, I don't say need to, right? But the reason why we look to then choose our partner in a certain seasons is because now you're looking to maybe build with that person.
Yes.
The thing is that you're only getting older. So if you say have a kid at like 35, what does that then do, right? Or how strong are you then going to be able to be to take care of your little one? Right? But if we're saying that's a hot girl summer now in our 20s, what's next? Right? No, but let's be honest. But it's honest, though. If we saying it's a hot girl summer right now, right?
Yeah.
We in our 20s. We talking about, so you hit your mid-20s, then you hit like 30.
Yeah.
What happens next? Like, I'm going to get married at 32, 35. Like, when did you plan on having a child? Like, this is not my opinion. This is statistics. This has nothing to do with what I think, right? This is the society we live in.
Yeah. You're not wrong.
I'm just asking a question.
The math is mathing.
Okay,
The math is mathing.
The math is mathing.
Okay.
Because we're talking about relationships, right? So it's like, what is then after the relationship? It's to build a family, or it's at least to stay together, right? Man and woman. But then if you're choosing to then have children, at what age or what time period do you have children? You can do it whenever you want to, because it's your life, by all means. But if we're having a hot boy summer or a hot girl summer, what happens next?
Okay, so when I think about hot boy summer or hot girl summer, right?
Hot boy summer just don't even sound
don't even sound right. Yeah,
hot guy summer, it just don't even.
Okay,
it's a sassy man season. That's what that is.
But he needs to be in his bag. He needs to be in his bag.
Let's try to identify where this problem came from, and I'm gonna give you my theory. Right? You have let's say hot girl summer, for instance. You didn't have that many years ago, right? And I feel like, this is my theory, like you have women who've gotten hurt and don't know how to deal with that. And they go out and they have a hot girl summer doing everything they can to distract their mind from their current situation, rather than grow from it. And then you have men that do the same thing, or hurt, and they listen to these podcasts that feed off these men's problems. Because everybody, like, on other podcasts, like, when they talk about things on other podcasts, like, every man has been through that, but only certain men dealt with it the right way. Thanks. Versus go out here and use women as an emotional Band-Aid, and I'm not with that. So, like, if I got hurt, I'm going to deal with it, and I'm going to sit in that pain and not judge it and self-reflect and build a better version of myself. So if I'm building a better version of myself, and then you still have women out here being a hot girl summer, honestly, my time and their time is running out, because I'm over here working on myself, and you have women who can care less, and they go through their life, and you get to 30, and I'm working on myself for 10 years, and then now I meet a girl, and I think most men are gonna have the same problem. They're gonna think she's the right one, but is she, or is she just tired of being a hot girl?
Oh,
So I'm trying to identify that problem which I have to me, and that's why I want to find my person in my 20s.
Facts.
So I'm not waiting till 30 and talk about something I found at 40. I found out not in this generation. This is gonna happen immediately. This is gonna happen immediately.
This is serious.
Man.
This is
Today.
personal. This is
Today.
personal.
Today.
I would
personal.
like to point out, not all of us hot girls. Speaking as a hot girl, hottie myself.
So you be outside.
Mind your business.
Oh, all right. Yeah, so you be outside. You be outside.
No. Listen.
All right.
Listen.
I just wanna-
Not all of us is outside, not working on ourselves. We are just using.
Oh.
We're just using the resources accessible. You
hear
know,
that?
like you said, men be outside trying to
you hear that?
use women.
Did you hear that?
I did. I said it. I said it again.
I know.
Men be
you're
out
lying.
here. Listen.
I know. I'm quiet.
Men be out here trying to use women as emotional band-aids. Okay.
He's gonna get
You
played.
just out here. You doing this by yourself.
That's
you
even
decided I'm finna go to the bank. I'm finna get out these stacks and I'm finna go out and do all this extra stuff. Okay, cool. But you're not gonna do it with your homeboys. You want a woman around you. You want something to look at. Okay, so me and my girls, we finna go out. You
crazy.
already came out with the intentions
That's
of blowing all this money.
crazy.
So why wouldn't I
That's
just use it to my
crazy.
advantage? Don't
So,
say it's crazy.
it's crazy.
It's them being weak-minded.
Okay, hold on. Okay, so
There you go.
Why?
There you go. That's actually. You know what? You know
It's
what?
not
This
even
is-
my fault. It's not my fault. Because I
this
didn't do
is actually-
anything wrong.
this is-
I
this
didn't
is
do
actually-
anything
This
wrong.
is actually a very valid point. This is actually a very valid point. And the reason why it's valid is because what she just pointed out, men. What she just pointed out, men, is that you're spending all this time and energy and your resources to then go spend it on someone who's not your ideal person.
Oh, wow.
Just to go blow the bag. So use this as an opportunity to go continue working on yourself
Or-
and building your portfolio. Because if you're saying that, let me go and enjoy my life, barely, not really, because once you spend all that money, where did the experience go? Did you make an experience for her, or did she create an experience for you? If you could have just found your person and spent that same amount of money
That's
on
not what
one
they wanted
person.
to do. That's not what
That's
they
what they
wanted.
needed to do.
That's what they needed to do, but that's not what they wanted to do. Okay, that's not my fault, ladies. It's not your fault. It's not your
Wow,
fault.
but then let's
go
not-
out.
let's not-
use his bag because he wanted to waste it anyway.
No,
fellas,
He didn't-
fellas, you heard it from the
Don't
source.
be mad
Listen,
at
Listen.
me.
You,
listen, fellas, you
You're
heard,
right.
you heard it from the
I do
source.
agree.
That's not.
Save your
Don't
money.
be mad at the woman.
Stop being simps. Stop going to Miami.
Do not drag Miami into this.
hold-
Okay, don't do it. I had a great time out there.
who paid for it?
Not me.
That's crazy. I just
It
wanted to
was
be known.
not
Fellas.
me.
No, for
Fellas.
real. Let's be honest. Bro. Please.
What you mean, please?
No, please. Especially 18, 19, 20. Please continue to focus on yourself. And if there is someone that you say you want to have an entanglement with, how are they benefiting
Jada.
your life? No, ain't look, but all I'm saying is, how are they benefiting your life?
Fellas.
Right.
Fellas, hold all your coins.
All of them.
All the
wow.
all the
Especially the
coins.
season that we're going into. We're not talking about financial literacy, but please be mindful about this next season the world is going into. You out here spending your
Save
bag.
it,
You out here
save it.
spending-
Listen, fellas, save it for that one. She is out there.
Oh,
She
my.
is out there.
But okay,
bro.
what I will say,
Stop
I never
going-
said she
still-
wasn't out there.
What I will say though is that please have an abundant mindset, so you're not out here saying that she's the one,
Okay.
and then she
do the
did-
dash.
she's gone. So now you spent your whole mindset or all your emotions on saying, oh, she's the one.
Okay.
but she can the same
Hold
way
on.
that you have options.
This
same way-
banned all of this. Ain't no man coming to the club thinking he finna find his wife.
he shouldn't be going to the club in the first place.
Wait.
He
I
needs to be building
don't
himself up.
disband the club. People gotta make their bread somehow.
No, I didn't say that. I didn't say to spend in the club. I'm just saying that, bro. Spend less time in the club, more time in the books, more time on educational
Okay,
platforms that
okay.
are helping
We're
you get
trying
to
to
the bag.
empower men.
As you-
so sorry.
And fellas, don't fellas listen. Don't get to the bag to spend it. Spend it on your woman, not everybody else's. Okay.
Get the bag. Get the bag. Not everybody. That's a key gem that he just said.
That
Why are you
was
spending-
it. That was
Why are you
it.
spending all your money on women who are not for you?
Okay.
At the end of the day, get the bag. Get the bag. Save the bag. Invest the bag. Let's go get a bigger bag.
and
Clearly,
keep the
I'm the
bag.
comical
Keep the
bag.
bag. Keep the bag.
What's
I'm
harder
the
than making
comedic
money?
relief.
What's harder than making money is keeping your money. Remember
Especially,
that.
and if you're choosing to blow it on women who are not for you
He didn't.
Okay, so
for an experience,
Hey,
Okay, so-
hey,
so-
don't knock it till you try it.
I've done it. I've been there, done that. Don't go back.
Exactly. So
it's not an exactly. Don't go back.
I'm so proud of you.
So
I'm giving you your flowers.
When you said
that's how they get you. See, that's how they get.
Wait, hold on. When you said have an abundant mindset and stop thinking she's the one, so you don't believe in like going back to a past person?
No. There's a reason why it didn't work.
Okay.
If I could give you a high five from across this table.
You know what I'm saying? Air high five.
Yes.
Bingo.
Wait a minute.
Let's be honest.
What?
No, if it didn't, if the
what
relationship
is it to go backwards for?
Exactly. Why not go forward? Because the same way that you said, oh, she had 8 out of 10 of everything that I wanted. What if instead of going backwards, you went forward and found the one that had 9 out of 10 of what you desired?
10 out of 10.
10 out of 10.
What are you talking about?
Let's do it again.
Like, all right, before we get into that,
let's keep it a buck.
We finna get into that.
Let's keep it a buck.
Okay.
Ah, Jesus.
Let's be honest.
Why he always got to make these dramatic turns towards me before he say something?
Listen.
It's personal.
Clearly.
So if you didn't leave a toxic situation, right, and it wasn't toxic, you still would not go back.
Once again, why do I need to take steps backwards?
Okay, so
regardless of the situation being toxic, because it could have been beneficial, but there was just something in that person that did not relate to me, that did not connect to me. What do I need to go backwards for? Now I'm blocking them from whatever person it is that they're supposed to be with because I'm being hard-headed.
I think that no matter who you decide to go forward with, only thing that's going to change are the options. The problems will remain the same. Ooh. So honestly, if I go out here,
negative connotation.
It's not negative because everybody has problems. Like you, I would, you would. Let's just say I go find another woman, right? Mm-hmm. And she may have her set of problems. She's not going to be perfect.
Okay.
So, only thing that changed really was my option. I went back.
Did you just say all women have problems that can't be fixed?
No, I didn't.
I think that's what I heard.
No, that's not what I'm saying. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying if I choose to go talk to another girl, she's going to have her own set of problems. It's going to be different from the one that I just left.
Okay, yeah.
Right. So the only thing that really changed was my option of who I chose.
No, she got a different set of problems. Are you going to stick through and help her figure out those problems if she needs help? Are you going to be beside her?
Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. Like, so. You really
just want a girl with no problems.
No, I don't want to go with no problems.
That's what it sounds like.
No.
I see what
you're saying.
It's not that because only thing the problems are the same, or not the problems. The problems are the same, but the options changed. That's how I see it. Mm-hmm. I may find a girl, right, who checked off 10 checked out all 10 boxes and she had a past, or you have another girl who checked off 7 out of the boxes and didn't have a past. Both are great women. They just have their own different problems. They have their own set of problems that they come with. Yeah. Just like men. Like men have their set of problems that they come with. It doesn't necessarily mean that the next person is going to be best. The grass is not always green on the other side. It's green when you water it. So if at the same time, like, you're going out here, like I was saying in my last podcast, you don't have that many women to choose from. And then, like,
and that's
you don't have that many women to choose from. So honestly, at a certain age, you've probably already ran into that person, your person, because you only are probably gonna have access. An average person may have access to not that many women. So, and if you travel a lot, that's different. But I think personally, at a certain age, you probably already ran into your person.
Okay. Let me gather my thoughts first before I chew you out. I'm just saying, you left a situation for a reason, right? Why would you go back to somebody, they problems, but they're not changing?
What if they did?
Is that for you? Is that for you to figure out?
That's what I'm saying.
Because
is it your baggage to work through?
Won't the next woman have baggage too? And won't I have to work through that one?
It depends. I would say that it actually depends, right? Because the same way that you're working, you're evolving, you're growing, why not then meet someone at that, not even same level, different level? It could be, but you don't know that you're saying, let me go back to this previous relationship that for whatever reason did not work. It's not like you're saying, unless, right, you're saying you're working through it. If you're working
not you to take the shades off.
I know, not you not taking the glasses off. I'm just saying, like, look, if you're working through it, that's one thing. But if you're saying that we're not together, but I'm gonna continue to work on myself and then come back. These are
different.
two different things.
That's different.
Regardless of whatever problem you guys are looking to work out. That's my honest opinion. So the reason why I say I have an abundant mindset in terms of partners is because, like I stated last time, right? How many men literally say, oh, okay, this is the one. This is the one, or this one is the prettiest girl I've ever had, or the prettiest girl that I've ever been with. And so because of that, they say that I'm going to stick it out with this one person. And then as time continues on, they realize this person's really not for me. But yet, because they're saying that I can fix it or we can work through it, I'm going to stay with this relationship. Regardless if it's toxic or not, actually.
What if the person was just overwhelmed at the time and you didn't really help that person because you couldn't be the person that you needed to be with that person? So in the breakup, you found more of yourself and became more self-aware in how to understand and be in love before you didn't know that because you haven't gone through it yet. That person could just be overwhelmed and you're not helping them the way they need you to help them. But I guarantee you, if through that separation and that point of no contact, if you work on yourself, you can probably figure that out and go back and try again. I think personally, true love is tested after the breakup, not during. Because think about it. We all had disagreements and we all had problems with a lot of people in our lives, especially, let's just say, our families, for instance. Mm-hmm. When your mom made you mad, did you move out and go stay with somebody else, or did you work it out? And I understand it is different, yes, but friends too. You know, did you give up on your friends because they pissed you off, or did you figure it out? Did you go find new friends because you didn't like what they did? No, not really many people did that. So why is it different from a girl who come into your life or a man who come into your life? Why are we so quick to abandon that person because they're not perfect and they have issues? I've noticed that. Like, I don't think that's fair to them. I don't think it's fair to yourself. Now, I'm saying if the situation was toxic, don't go back. But if it's not toxic and it was right person, wrong time, why not try again? That's all I'm saying. I'm not saying if it didn't work out. If y'all are saying if it didn't work out, why go back? Well, it cannot work out with the next person.
And that's
totally okay. Yeah, that's okay.
Like, and the reason I'm saying that's totally fine, because I'll be honest with you, bro. Like, I think depending on, because I think as you continue to evolve, right, as you continue to grow as a man or as a woman, wouldn't you want that ideal person who's actually looking to grow with you? Because say, for example, that person still could be, that same person could still be overwhelmed because you know in your deepest of hearts, you will continue to evolve, you will continue to change, you will continue to grow. So therefore, regardless if you went back to that person or not, they could still be the same person. They could still be the same person. They could have grown, they could have changed, fine. But now
y'all done just grew apart even more.
Like, and it depends to what degree. Like, you could say maybe were you guys living together, and so maybe it was a short breakup for a season, and then it was like, or it was so much stress. Like, I think it depends, honestly, for context between that person's relationship. Right. That's why at the end of the day, when it comes in terms of relationships, I just say do what it is that you choose to do. But I know that for me personally, the reason I will continue to have an abundant mindset is because if I say that, oh, okay, I'm going to settle with this one person, what does that then look like a few years from now? Where I'm saying that I will continue to evolve. It does not matter who the person is. So if they're not even rocking with me within that first season, right, and say that we broke up or whatever, how do I know, or how, like, if it was truly tested, how will I then know to any extent if they're really worth coming back to? Like, what happened?
Okay,
right?
So
you would have to know, like, and that's truly personal, but you would have to know what happened to then even assess if that person's worth coming back to.
Okay, so check this out.
My opinion.
If you continue to have an abundant mindset like that, okay, then everybody, even if you fall in love with them or not, will be practically disposable. So nobody will love anybody.
These are some strong words.
Nobody
that you are using.
Nobody will love anybody, because if I have the mindset to replace you when you make me mad and move on, you can never. Could you really have love? Could you really fall in love with that person?
Maybe not anger. Maybe not anger. Right?
You're saying if this person has baggage, or if it doesn't work out when you leave, then like, you know, and have an abundant mindset, who will want to fall in love with anybody?
No, I think it depends on, I think it's not, because once again, It's not to say that I'm not willing to take
I'm just trying to
the
see where he grabbed all of that from.
Right, that's what I'm saying. I didn't say that's not what I said.
That's not what you said.
That's not what I said.
I thought I was tripping. I was like, where did he?
That's not
just
what I
pulling
said.
stuff out the bag.
So when I talk about, okay, so let me give you some more context in terms of
Please.
what I mean by having an abundant mindset. I believe that is to say that my person or that ideal person for me may be out there, but I'm not going to continue to say, quote unquote, like, and there's a difference between someone settling and someone compromising. I think a lot of people at times maybe settle because they say that this is maybe the best I can get. So when people say that, when I talk about an abundant mindset, that's why that's ideally what I'm referring to. Is to say that you're settling. Why? Like what? Or if that person's for you, fine. At the end of the day, that's why relationships are subjective. So whatever I say is based off of your life experiences, right? But the reason I say have an abundant mindset is because once again, how many men are actually truly capable of saying that, oh, I'm able to have multiple relationships? A lot of men, this is when we talk about a scarcity mindset, we talk about quote unquote incels. There's a legit, hopefully I said that right. There's a legit group of men who despise women because they are not able to get women, or they're do you hear what I'm saying?
Yes.
So when I talk about having an abundant mindset, I'm more so saying let that man continue to work on himself so that he can create more options for himself to then choose his ideal person. I'd rather go forward because I understand that say for example, you say you want to build a $10 million, $100 million business. The person you're with, if they don't see that same vision or mission, why would I go back with them? Like what like if they don't even want to do that themselves, how is this going to benefit each other? How are we going to do that?
But it all depends on context, because like you said,
exactly.
But if she did, then why not? But at the same time, you're gonna have, like I told you before, you're gonna have women that motivate you to conquer the world. She may not. Everybody has a different vision. Like what's in my head won't be in her head. She just has to believe that I can do it.
So
like I'm not saying like she has to have the same mindset as me, because if that was the case for me and how I take it, then we both sharks and we not gonna last. Because
or you guys can build together, because there's a and I don't want to just be using certain words, but it depends, right? So say you're that guy that says I don't want to say that guy, but I'm saying like what I mean by that is that you want to build, like you want to do really amazing things with your life, right? And so now say the person that you're looking to be with, they want to do also amazing and big things as well. Regardless of them being a shark or a supporter or working within the company, you can do amazing things together. I'm not like, and there's, you want to make, quote unquote, say however you court her or however you ask certain questions to understand if she's your person. But I believe that if you guys want to do really big stuff, she has to also see that vision for what it is in the beginning, not during or after the breakup. Like, how does she help me before even the breakup? Right. How does she truly, like, it and really if she depends.
Did, if she had those, and if she did, right, and it didn't work out, because like I said, she's probably overwhelmed. Why not?
See, you go back when you talk about overwhelmed.
What do you mean?
Like, it can be a lot. It can be with her life. It can be with her life it can be with her life. For instance, like so it can be my life coming into her life and vice versa. And she can already be dealing with things. And she can probably lose herself trying to help me. And that's happened with men that try to help women. They lose themselves in the process, and vice versa. So what if the point that was overwhelmed? She was overwhelmed. She's like, you know what? Let's go our separate ways.
It should then stay the separate ways. If you're so say for example, like you're legitimately working on certain deals, right? And so you are going to be under a lot of stress. Right? Yeah. She was overwhelmed over what happened in the beginning. You think that she's just gonna
magically get over
become somebody that's able to then handle that level of stress that you're under?
Okay, so that's what I'm saying. The time apart. If she's working on herself, just like you're working on yourself, and she can come back better, that's what I'm saying. But if it's nothing to come back, if it's nothing to come back to, why would you go back?
So you're kind of banking on the if.
Yeah, I was finna
like
say,
even in any deal, even in any like business deal that you're working on, that if is kind of like, but you're banking on a person. You're not banking on on a transaction. It may be that I need to do this, I need to work on this. Okay, if I contact this person, we can still work on this contract, this deal, make it happen. But if I'm banking on a person, our time apart for her to work on herself, I don't know. There's no guarantee unless that's what we discussed.
No, that's not. You're right.
Yeah, unless this is what I'm saying when I talk about an abundant mindset, bro. All I'm saying is that maybe I'm just speaking for myself. That's fine, but I'd rather bank on that. There's so much more that I can look to accomplish with a person that's really rocking for me, instead of saying that, oh, you're overwhelmed in this season of my life. Do you know what the next 3 to 5 years are gonna look like?
you have a point, but no, it's a good point. It's a good point. It's a good point.
It's a discussion.
It's a good point. I'm just giving you an example, but it can be she can be overwhelmed on top of many other things. You see what I'm saying?
So then, and that's fine.
Because honestly, like when I was in my situation, like I didn't even know, like I didn't find the path that I needed to take until after that happened.
And that's perfectly fine. That was maybe that lesson that she needed to show you.
Right.
So then by you just continuing to stay on track with your vision, you don't know who could come into fruition for you that's actually meant for you.
Correct. And
so if you go back, you think she gonna magically maybe teach you more lessons?
What? She a leprechaun? Magically delicious?
No, but I mean when I was talking to her, I mean I was content. I was motivated, but I wasn't working as hard as I was now.
And that's perfectly fine.
You see what I'm saying? Like I'm working harder. Well, I don't know if I said that right, but I'm working harder now than I was before, if that makes sense. Like I was content. I was still doing things. I was still going to auditions. I was still going to castings. I was, we were looking for places for the podcast.
Of course.
Right. But then when that happened, I became a lot more proactive. What if that was, my karmic cycle that I had to go through in order to get started, and then try again.
So then, But
did she go through a cycle?
I don't know.
So then
why are you trying to go backwards?
I don't know.
Because I mean, I hear you. Okay, you went through the breakup. Life happened. You progressed. You grew. You're saying all these things that you did after this breakup. What about Shorty? What about this situation?
You don't know.
You don't know.
You literally don't know. Like, so for example.
So are you going to block all the blessings? Like, you're literally saying you're motivated. You're doing all of this. So are you going to block your blessings that are coming right now at you while you...
I'm not blocking them. So like, okay, so like
I
don't know.
Look, you're not trying to find them either.
Wait, when you say blessings, I mean, are you talking about other women or opportunities?
Both.
Yeah.
Both.
Okay, so opportunity wise, I'm not blocking them. But here's the thing, like I don't know if a deal is gonna work out or not. I don't know.
Okay, you don't know if Shorty grew and developed into a better woman either. But you steady trying to press that one.
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. I didn't even mean to say it like that.
Whoa. But that perspective is key, bro. Because think about it. Like, let's keep it 100%, right? Why do you think, like, even for me personally, past relationships that I've gone through, I've seen people like people who actually hurt me, want to then circle back into my life. They actually. I'm talking about
when they say hurt. What do you mean?
I'm talking about. It could be emotional. It could be emotional abuse. It could be verbal abuse. And then you're looking to come back because you see that because I'm never. Even if they didn't do that much and they was hurt and so they attempted to cause me pain.
Yeah.
You want me to come back because you was emotional?
You know.
Are all women not emotional?
Okay,
wait. Watch your mouth.
But we're all.
You not getting emotional?
Duh.
Okay,
but I'm just saying, you don't have to say it out loud.
No, it's okay. But that we already.
You know how there's things that's understood but don't need to be said. That was one of them.
Okay, but we're all aware. We're all aware that we're all emotional beings, right?
Yes.
But now here's the thing to pay attention to: that in my opinion, I believe that those emotions need to be managed.
Yes.
Just because I'm angry, or I'm frustrated based off of the things that I'm going through in my life, that does not then mean
you have the right to
then I should come into my relationship and then cause problems between the people that or the person I'm looking to build with. You keep saying overwhelmed, right, or stress or anxiety, but these. I'm not a psychologist, but these are emotions that can be managed. These are things that can be managed or regulated.
And what if there's in the point of separation she understands that?
She could say understood it. She could have broken it
down.
And
she can regulate it. Like
to what degree, bro? Because you're saying that I know that you're going to continue to grow to another level. Why would I look to go back to somebody that was overwhelmed to regardless if it was their own personal life or your life? Then you're going to continue to grow. So your life is only going to get more stressful. Yeah. So you can only bank on maybe yourself and based off of someone's actions, what they can maybe then do in the future, right? Because now you have to pay attention to their behavior, their actions.
At the end of the day.
You was overwhelmed based off on what I've gone through in the past. Imagine what the next 5 years are going to look like.
Okay, so say for instance for yourself, right? You own, at that point, 2, 3, 4, 5 apartment complexes.
Yes, I'm playing Monopoly.
And you and
On me.
you.
On me. I'm playing Monopoly.
I'm sorry, Doc.
I'm passionate about
I am
this.
corny. That
No,
was a good one.
I'm dead serious.
I know you're dead serious. That's what makes it even more funny.
Listen, so, and let's just say you're known in the community, right?
Yes.
And people know that you're a successful person, and then
Yes.
you attract all these options, right? Money is going to attract the girl you want. Struggle is going to attract the girl you need.
Facts.
So I'm trying to go through my struggles with my person. I'm telling you right now, if I had multi-millions and people knew that,
Yeah.
it's going to be even harder for women to come into my life because
That's-
I don't know
you're-
what you're there for.
That's
I don't know
true.
what you're there for.
However, it could be the same thing that, she's seen me in my struggle and sees that, she's maybe seen a lot of men, right? So she understands that, not every man has a certain level of ambition. So if she sees that I'm hungry, I'm going after what it is that I want, who's to say that when she sees that transition of, that's a huge portfolio, or that's a huge deal you just closed, right? So now what does that look like? Because you can literally, based off of the society we live in, some people become wealthy overnight.
Yeah.
So what's the difference of you was with me for a year and I was in the dirt, but now, 18 months later, I'm a whole millionaire.
Because if she's with you in the dirt, then
Barely.
she's there for you.
Is
What
she
was
though?
she doing in the dirt with
What
you?
was she doing? That's what I'm
Wait,
saying.
we got all these hypotheticals.
No,
I'm just saying.
Let me tell you.
saying.
Okay, you want a real situation?
Uh-oh.
I used to really go back to my family and say, man, I really think I have the one, or I really think that, she's my ride or die. That same person I thought or felt, because we're talking about emotions, right? Thought or felt that person was my one, or that person was my ideal ride or die. Or I learned that's the same person that can cause you a lot of pain, no matter the season you're in. So what I'm saying is, regardless if you become wealthy in the next 18 months or if you're going through the struggle right now, it goes back to what she said. What are they doing for you while you're going through it? We're going to break up because you're overwhelmed. Based off,
That person did a lot. She did a lot. Can I ask you a question? So
Why do you do this to me every time? What? What's the
if
question?
you didn't have very much money, right?
I don't.
And
I'm sorry.
if you didn't have very much money,
that hot girl summer.
and
If it's a high girl summer, I'm not spending my money. Let's be real.
yeah, like she said earlier.
Okay, come on.
So if you didn't have much money, would you still spend it on what you can on the person that you're talking to?
Yep.
Okay.
I do a lot of dumb shit.
That's not dumb, but like you wouldn't do that for every man, though, would you?
I wouldn't do it for every man.
Okay,
no.
so and if you didn't have very much and you're still willing to share that with somebody else, and from a man, women do not spend their money on you.
Put your hand down, because that is a lie.
Women do not spend
That
their
is
money
a
on you
lie.
if they do not like you.
That is a lot. Wait, what'd you say?
Exactly.
You didn't listen. You didn't listen.
Women do not spend their money on you if they do not like you,
Ow.
especially if she does not have very much. So
Actual facts. I'm sorry.
she did the person I was talking to, she did a lot for me. So like I'm
What her did?
what she do?
What her did?
She did a lot. I remember this one
What
time.
her did? Come
I
on.
remember this one time she was like, "Hey, like I was
Hey,
playing around. We getting short on time, but I was playing around, and she was like, "Hey, you want to go to San Antonio?" And I was like,
What?
She was like, first I was like, "Nah, I don't want to go to San Antonio." And she was like, and she kind of wanted me to go. She made that known. I'm like, which is a green flag, by the way. She was like, "Once you get to San Antonio, because women don't make that known. Like so
Don't make one.
you're different." So she was like,
Not just
like I don't
like
want.
this
She was like, I don't want you
subliminal.
spending anything down here when we got down here.
What?
That's about exactly. So I was just like, I never had that before, right?
man.
And ain't nobody gonna do that for you if they don't like you. Like,
Stop saying that.
but we're getting short on time here. How was your first experience on the podcast?
Why? Every time.
Every time you get in the hot seat, every time.
I kind of like it over here.
You like,
No, it was pretty good. It was pretty good.
well, that
I
concludes.
like this.
It's high level conversations.
High level conversations all the time.
Awesome.
So thank you for joining me, Ariel. I really appreciate it. Thank you for tuning into episode 2 of Day to Day with Daydrian with my guy Mbuge and my guest Ariel.
Let's get into it. Actually, what I do want to say is that once again, relationships are meant to be subjective, right? Let's keep it a bug. Relationships are meant to be subjective, and do what it is that works for you, right? These are just some of my beliefs that I believe will, honestly help me as I continue to grow and build. Whatever you choose to do, rock out. It's your life.
I'm going to get my woman. I'm going to get her.
And with that being said, I hope you guys
This concludes today's episode.
I hope you guys have an amazing day.
I don't know where
this
my
guy
life
here.
is.
This guy here.
I just be chilling.
I'm on the way.
Said I'm coming, my baby. This dude.
I'm on the way. This concludes our episode, you guys. You have a great day, and thank you for tuning in.